All right, so here we are. Good morning again, everybody. All right. So um I guess we'll get started. Let's see. Iris, would you like to pray us in, friend?
Good morning, Lynn, and good morning, all. And I'm going to pray sing. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen.
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 So how are we all doing this morning? Ready for another beautiful Saturday?
PJs are here again.
Yes, they are. Let me get our reading up. And I don't, Iris, do you remember exactly which one we were on?
Yes, we were on special principles of miracle workers, and we are on number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was in the right place, see? I knew we were somewhere around there. All right. So let's see. Who would like to read number 4? Paragraph 14.
I'll read it.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. The miracle is always a denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. Only right-mindedness can correct in a way that has any real effect. Pragmatically, what has no real effect has no existence. Its effect, then, is emptiness. Being without substance, being without substantial content. I should be wearing my glasses. Being without substantial content, it lends itself to projection. So I think this is 13 leads into 14, I think. 13 is never confuse right and wrong mindedness, responding to any form of error without anything except a desire to heal is an expression of this confusion. So the miracle is always denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. So never confuse right and wrong mindedness. For me, that's just remembering not to listen to my first voice that speaks first and loudest, which is the ego, who usually always speaks first and loudest, and step back and wait for that guidance, which I don't even know if I want to call it guidance, just that feeling, that gut feeling for me. It's a gut feeling that I know is the right, the peaceful way to go. And it always reminds me of Miracle 43. It talks about miracle mindedness, which is being able to forgive whatever is happening right in front of me. If I'm starting to feel a certain type of way, if I can forgive it, the sooner I can forgive it, the better I feel. So that's all I have for now. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that, Karen, and welcome, Cora. Cora Yang, nice to have you here. Um, and you're definitely free to raise your hand or speak up if you see or hear something you want to mention or discuss. This is an open forum, and we like to share. when we like people who are willing to share. So welcome, welcome. So yeah, so the miracle is actually the realization, I think, is a denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. That's basically even if you get into a situation where maybe you're in trouble or you're in an argument with somebody or there's you're not feeling well, something is not going right in your physical body or your mental health or whatever. The miracle uh, can come as easily as just reminding myself that I am as God created me, that I am what God created, and reminding myself of the truth of what I am. That's a denial of that error and a return to right-mindedness, because then I can look at things. How would I see this? How does a healed mind see this situation? How does a healed mind see this political thing that I'm upset about, or a thing about the church that I'm upset about? How would a healed mind see this? And open myself for right-mindedness and a miracle. Rafi, please go ahead.
The thing that jumped at me is acceptance. You're looking at all of the stuff that is going on, and you step back and go, "Well, acceptance. It's everything is unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to be unfolding, and it's doing it for my benefit, my ultimate good. I love you because you are the way you are. Uh, I had what I needed. I needed as I needed. There's no need to change anything. Come from a point of view of compassion and magnanimous and receptivity and allowing, and all of this other stuff goes away because the acceptance is reality, and the rest of the stuff is just ego mind business. And you uh, uh, put it in its proper perspective by by seeing what it is and what it isn't, and staying in acceptance. That's what works for me.
Thank you so much, Rafi. And yes, that really is. And again, I think, going back to that, I am as God created me. It is as God created it. It is perfect. There's nothing that can be changed or needs to be changed. The script is written is a reassurance that nothing can or has gone wrong. Nothing has changed what I am or what is real. So that acceptance is, uh, essential, goes absolutely into remembering the truth, and then, recognizing that everything I'm experiencing is a projection of my own thinking. So that's it. Anybody else have anything on Iris? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I agree with everything shared. Um, yeah, completely. Like it says, the miracle is always a denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. Only right-mindedness can correct in a way that has any real effect. And like this would remind me like on like the like in the first principle, it says, uses the terms lower order concerns. So like when like something would happen, like on the level of form, um, say for example, I have a really great pet, like a cat or a dog or something, and if like my dog uh, dies, if my dog dies, for example, like I think it's going to help me a lot to uh, like to see, to feel that like okay, like the body of the dog isn't here, but I am not separate from the whole. And really, that pet has not gone anywhere. And that pet is still here in my mind, in my awareness. And we have the same awareness. And I can really feel that whenever I've done this, it's really helped me a lot with just like coming to terms with things like that. And that pet hasn't gone anywhere. It's in my mind, and there is no separation, even though like in this world we have a lot of like conditioning and lots of programming that, oh, like this situation is really really very terrible, and I would need all this type of things. And but just with this thought that it's all one. And that's what came to mind. It says that only right mindedness can correct in a way that actually has any real effect. So it's like I can talk about it, I can do this, I can do that, I can take all the different like courses, I can do everything on the horizontal plane, and it's not going to have a lasting help. And but if I take this truth, just what Lynn was sharing, I am as God created me, and there is no separation ever, and everything is one. Would really help me, and only that really helps. Everything else has a temporary kind of band-aid type of help that doesn't work, and only this helps. So I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you so much, Iris. So very clear. Karen, please go ahead.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Rafi. And yeah, I had an experience of that oneness in the grocery store this morning, Iris. So my uncle and I were in back of this fellow, and he overheard us. And we got in the line of the girl that we like the most that checks us out. We always get in her line. And he said, "Look, there's the girl we like." And I said, "Great." I said, "I love her." And he turns around, he says, "I love her too." He said, "I think she's great." And he got in that line too because he liked her too. So when it was my turn, to check out with her, I told her what we all said about her. I said, "Yeah, the guy in front of me said he overheard us and how much we like you, and he got in your line because he likes you too." And she had the biggest smile on her face. It just made her so happy. So it just brought so much joy to her. It made her day, and it made my day. And the other thing I was thinking of, when Lynn said, how would a healed mind see this? And in chapter 3, section 2, he says, "If nothing but the truth exists, right-minded seeing cannot see anything but perfection." So that is how a healed mind would see it. It sees only the perfection, it sees only the beauty. And the Course tells us that everything but its beauty is gone. There's nothing else. It's only the truth. And in chapter 2 that we recently read, he says that right-mindedness is healing. So it's forgiveness. It's forgiveness. Forgiveness is healing. Right-mindedness is changing our mind about something that we would normally, for me, the ego would speak first and loudest and judge, but the right-mindedness corrects that. So I see nothing but perfection. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. And wow, what a cool thing. I mean, isn't it, there's no place that we can't spread love and bring joy just by being loving, joyful, loving people. So I love that situation with the grocery store. Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to echo what's just been said. I often, if I'm in a checkout line, and the lady looks harassed, or there's a long line or something. I still do from time to time, pick out something that I can say to her about her that'll put a smile on her face. Like, God, your nails look great. Did you do them yourself? Wow, what a statement. And then if I don't say anything, I start in my head, start saying when I'm in the line, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And by the time I get to being checked out, the smile shows up. All of this, it's like, okay, because we're all sending and receiving machines, whatever. And then, so there's nothing that I'm not putting out that is not being picked up. So there's two ways to do that. And just simply putting a smile on, allowing somebody to get to a point where they can just smile and feel really good for a moment, um, benefits everybody, because it's better. Since there's no you, there's no me, there's only one. Everybody else in the line benefits from it too. And what kind of effort does it take? Absolutely none. If it's effortless, it's beingness. If there's an effort behind it, then it's ego. It's so simple, the formula. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Thank you, everybody. This is so beautiful. Yes, that's the way I see it too. When I'm in a store or the greatest place is like if you're at the pharmacy and there's a line at the pharmacy, and people are in a pharmacy line because they're not feeling well, they need to get some medicine, something's gone wrong. So they're not in the best of place mentally or emotionally. And then you have these pharmacists who are back there, trying to fill the orders, listening to the questions, answering the phone, taking new orders, filling out your prescription, they're doing all these different things. And, so many people get upset with the pharmacy because the line is long, because they have to wait, because they're not feeling well, they're having a difficult time. And so that's a place where when I'm in a place like that, the only thing that I really can do or want to do is just love. Just love and forgive. Forgive all the judgment, forgive all the fearful thoughts, forgive all the anger, forgive all the upset, forgive all these things. You can do that. Just be there and be. I feel like I'm a little like a little beehive. Like I'm a little beehive and little bees with the love and joy are just being, zooming out, going out looking for the, you know, for the honey. I'm doing that. I'm actively loving people in a way that is not from judgment or selfishness or anger or fear, but because they need it right then. The people in the line need it, the pharmacist, everybody needs it. And I honestly think, just those little things like that change the world. I honestly believe that doing little things like that actually change the world. Iris, please go ahead.
Thank you, Lynn. 100%. I think like those exactly what has been shared, and like those little things like that, they shift like that other person's mind, and then they do it forward. Like their mind will have shifted. Maybe like they have something going on at home or whatever, like and just like when exactly, that's what exactly what Lynn was sharing. Like they just shift like everything. And like the other thing that I remembered, like it was I think maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Like like at work sometimes it gets really busy, and like then you start taking things quote seriously. And then I just had this second, and I just remembered, like, actually, our real job is we are miracle workers. That's really our job. And I mean, and so I had that thought, and then my next thought was, but I don't really know what that means. Like, what is that? Like, and then I just left it, and I kind of like continued. But that's it. Like, that's our role as miracle workers, which is whatever it is. Like, I was thinking about like the principle one, and and lesson one as well, that nothing I see here means anything at all. Like, nothing at all. The world doesn't mean anything. My thoughts don't mean anything. Those feelings in the release technique, those don't mean anything, because the feelings, like, I have to let go. But beyond that, like, is what we are. And that is whatever that is, the all. And I just had like those types of thoughts. Um, and and I just kind of, I guess I'm just really quite awed by this this journey that all of us are on. And yeah, and I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you, Iris. I'm awed too. Honestly, I'm just in such amazement that we have this opportunity to be this and be here and be these miracle workers. Karen, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is a beautiful conversation. I was just thinking about what Rafi said when, I do the same thing, wherever I am, I do the same thing. I compliment someone, especially if they look like they're down, especially if they look like they're not having a good day. And what Rafi said is so true. It takes no effort. It actually takes more effort to be miserable, actually. And I think that I've heard this, and others might have heard this too, that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Is that true? Has anyone ever heard that?
I've heard
I've
that.
heard,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's easier to just be the truth of who we are, to be that love, to extend that love, and we all feel better. And like you said, Lynn, it's like it affects everyone. It's like one person at a time. We're healing the world, and I just love that. And I just think that's such a good, just a good way to be in every situation. So I'm just loving this. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, it's just such a gift. I'm so grateful that we have this. Who would like to read paragraph 15, or unless you have something more in 14, number 15, the special miracle principle number 5, or special principle of miracle worker is number 5.
I'll read it.
Thank you, Rafi.
The level adjustment power of the miracle induces the right perception for healing. Until this has occurred, healing cannot be understood. Forgiveness is an empty gesture unless it entails correction. Without this, it is essentially judgmental rather than healing. And that's a trap. Boy, fall into that one, and there's a lot of suffering behind that. Whoa.
Thank you, Rafi. Anybody else have any thoughts about um, this paragraph or this principle? And Adelbert, welcome. Or Adelbert, I don't know how you pronounce your name. Welcome. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Um, so what about this, number 15? He's talking about the level adjustment power of the miracle. What does that mean? To adjust our level uh, to where we are looking at things instead of from level 2, which is I always get these confused, but which is basically the world, or level one, which is reality. So the miracle moves us into a state of seeing things through our right mind, seeing things as they really are, or as close to as they really are, as we can see through the ego eyes. So it's only when we're allowing ourselves to be shifted like this that we're able to develop the right kind of perception, or true perception, rather than the perceiving the dream or seeing the story. So when he says forgiveness is an empty gesture unless it entails correction, um, I don't believe he's meaning that you have to correct what you think you need to forgive. Say, for instance, I think that you stole my lunch money. All right. And so I really think that you're guilty because you really did something wrong. Okay. So forgiveness then is forgiveness to destroy, because I already admit that you're guilty. I condemn you, and then I generously forgive you. First I condemn you, then I forgive you. That's not correction. The correct way is to look and see that you did nothing wrong, nothing has occurred, and when I can see that nothing has recurred, as my mind has been shifted into a level of being able to see correctly, or with the right mind, the true perception. Then forgiveness says, I'm glad I gave you my lunch. I'm glad you're eating my turkey sandwich. I don't know. But because otherwise you're judging rather than healing. Rafi, please go ahead.
There's a trap here that I just saw, and it came in that sentence that says forgiveness is an empty gesture unless it entails correction. If you're coming from, if I am coming from a point of view as I'm going to forgive these people because I'm so cool, because I'm so great, because I'm in a place way better than they are. That's pride, and we say in the release technique, pride is a hide. You hide a whole lot of negativity and ego crap by assuming an attitude of pride. And it's like, yeah, and you think, well, look how wonderful I am. Well, that's just ego hell. And if forgiveness isn't coming from a place of love and understanding and acceptance and compassion, then it's coming from an ego point of view and has nothing to do with forgiveness.
Exactly. Exactly. Beautifully expressed, Rafi. And yeah, so very clear. Iris, please go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Rafi. Yeah, that's why it doesn't work. But it does take a while. It does take a while, but it doesn't work. Like the forgiveness to destroy, it's like that person did something wrong, that's judgment. Now I'm going to be the goody two shoes and I'm going to forgive them, and that's not working, and it's just never going to work. And because I'm coming from a perspective of just judgment, someone has done something wrong. And yeah, and but the other way is that somehow happens that I can see things differently. Above all else, I'm willing to see this differently in lesson 20. Yeah, or even as I've been practicing the release technique, which I really love, and so sometimes there's this feeling happening, when something happens and it's a bit something happens like during, and then it's like I just pause and like I just go into that feeling, like just go really into that feeling and then just let it go, completely let it go. And then I remind myself, remember, it's only a feeling. And then I have to do it like a couple of times and then maybe another couple of times. And it really works. Like, and then it just goes. And then it's just fabulous. And I just want to say thank you, Rafi, for that. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you, Iris. And I'll tell you, the minute you start talking about doing the release, I could just feel Rafi's heart just break wide open. I could just see the smile come across his face, even though I'm not looking at him. I could just feel the joy in his heart that he was able to bring that to us. And so thank you, Iris, for being a witness and a demonstration of the 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 beauty of that.
Yeah.
Karen, go ahead, Rafi.
I'm gonna say, can't bring it to you without bringing it to me, because there's no you, there's no me, there's only one. So whatever I'm doing for you, I'm doing for me. It's I love all of that oneness. I just ooh.
I love it too. Karen, please go ahead.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Rafi. It's beautiful. And I love what everyone's sharing. And I agree with Iris. It's only a feeling, it's only a thought. And I can change my mind at any time. I can change my mind. And that is the miracle. And I love how these miracles go like really go right into the next one. Like in the previous miracle, he says, only right-mindedness can correct in a way that has any real effect. And then he's telling us here that until this has occurred, well, he says that the level adjustment power of the miracle induces the right perception for healing, which is right-mindedness. Until this has occurred, healing cannot be understood. Forgiveness is an empty gesture unless it entails correction. Without this, it is essentially judgment rather than healing, because the correction is always the same. The Course tells us the correction is always the same. We ask, what would you, we have to ask. We don't know. We have no idea. I don't know what anything is for. I can't correct. The ego can't correct the ego. I need that higher self. I need to, that I will come from a place of judgment. The ego will speak first and loudest. Of myself, I can do nothing. Oh, I think we just read in Fear and Conflict. Well, this is Fear and Conflict. I don't know if we got to it yet, but he tells us that the correction is always the same. I don't know if we got to this yet. Before you choose to do anything, ask me if your choice is in accord with mine. If you are sure that it is, there will be no fear. So when there's no fear, when I'm at peace and I know that I'm in my right mind. Otherwise, I'm usually not. You know, my first thought is judgment. So I think it's so important to recognize that the right perception, right-mindedness is healing. We need to be in that right perception, the right-mindedness, which is not of ourselves. It is not of ourselves. It is really the truth of who we are, but not the ego mind, which is the thoughts and the feelings that Iris was talking about, that we just let them go and give them over to be healed. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. And yeah, it's that stop, that pause, as Mary Gerard Linehan talks about it, the pause for inspiration, to just stop and let yourself be inspired rather than to stop and think, what can I do? Just stop and let yourself be inspired. Mickey, please go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you, Karen, for that. And yeah, when you just step back, look at it, and ask the Holy Spirit or Jesus for help, it's like it just totally takes the fear away. And I've been really doing that lately, and it's really been working. So I just wanted to tell you thank you, Karen, for reiterating that, right? And also, right now, too, not only am I working on forgiveness, But I'm also working on today as a big celebration for the Buddha. So it's for compassion and compassion for all beings. So forgiveness and compassion kind of go hand in hand. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mickey. And yeah, that compassion for all things, you know, that is what we are. You know, we are the heart of compassion, and we've just hidden it with a lot of fearful judgments. And so, you know, to get to the place where we can be truly empathetic, truly compassionate, and you know, that's not the first thing you think of, unless you are thinking about this all the time. And this is what we come to. We come to the place where we're thinking about it so often, in so many times, so many ways, that it becomes a more natural way of looking at things rather than to look at things with fear and judgment. So thank you for bringing that up, Mickey, and thank you, Karen and Iris as well, Rafi, everyone who's joined. So so yeah, so the number 15, the level adjustment power of the miracle, that's really what happens. There's nothing else that really happens. You adjust to where you're seeing through the eyes of the Holy Spirit, and then you are in the right perception for healing. And so you know, that's the correction is not the correction of, you know, what we think has gone wrong. The correction is the correction of our mind, by bringing our mind into the right level of thinking and seeing. So so let's look then at um, number 16, number 6. Who would like to read the special principle number 6?
I will.
Great, thank you, Linda.
Miracle-minded forgiveness is only correction. It has no element of judgment at all. The statement, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," in no way evaluates what they do. It is an appeal to God to heal their minds. There is no reference to the outcome of the error. That does not matter. So, any comments or?
Yeah, yes. Do you have any comments that you'd like to?
Well, and I think this applies to dealing with your own body, because that's what I've been doing with my body when I have a pain or something. It's like I have to thank my body for helping me remember the truth, because that's my goal, is to remember the truth. And in truth, I am one with all. I'm a creation of God, and I am innocent, and I believe I'm here to share joy and love. So it works for me in dealing with my body. That's what I would share with about this.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, that, you know, that's what we're talking really about here. Let's bring this into some practical consideration that has something to do with what we experience in our lives. You know, these are not just ideas, but you know, what does it help? Does it help me when I'm in pain? Does it help me when I am feeling discomfort in my body or my mind? This is what the correction is for, is to bring me to a place where I'm not in judgment of the pain, not in judgment of the body or the situation, but I'm actually looking at it and seeing that it is it is like you said, it's an opportunity for me uh, to know who I am and to connect myself to my source. So and you know, an appeal to God to heal their minds is really, you know, what we need to be saying about everything and everyone around us. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. please heal their mind and heal my mind so that I can see this clearly. Because if I'm seeing it clearly, I'm going to see that nothing really happened and nothing is really going wrong. But if I'm seeing it through the ego, I am going to be afraid and think that something has gone wrong. Uh, Anybody else have any comments on this number 16, number 6 of the special principles? Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, the one thing that jumped out at me, and forgive them, Father, they know not what they do, is have no attachment to the outcome. It's you've said the prayer, you turned it over to the highest power there is, and let that handle it. Step back and just stay in the now. And whatever unfolds is exactly what's supposed to unfold. And in that, there is the healing. You don't, well, I want it to turn out this way. I want them to be this way. I don't want them to be that way. The attachments and aversions and all of that stuff. If there's none of that, then you're in the moment. You've turned it over to the higher. I've turned it over to the higher power, and just step back and let it unfold as it will. Because no matter what it is, it will unfold perfectly. And the only reason why it wouldn't is because there's some ego. You've injected an ego judgment into it, and if you don't do that, then whatever unfolds has to be perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Rafi. And what that ego judgment that we say is not perfect. We say it's not right. It's not good. This is not how I want to experience, or what I want to experience. And I mean, it reminds me. I'm thinking uh, about. Have you seen these pictures? I'm sure you have, of people on a roller coaster, and there's two people sitting next to each other, and the one person is like terrified and looking like they're just screaming their head off, losing their mind, and the person that's sitting next to them is just laughing and having a great time. And they're both having the same experience, but one is having an experience of terror and the other is having an experience of joy. That's, I think, really what that Jesus is asking us to do, to come to the place where we see these things in joy and we're not terrified of them because we know that if you're I love roller coaster, one of my favorite things in the world to ride a roller coaster. um so joyful to be just flying through the air like that, and I'm always like sad when we come up to the end and get on that little track. Dirk, 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 dirk. Ah, oh, I have to get off. Well, but that's what I want my whole life to be, a roller coaster ride. That's what I want to experience. Karen, please go ahead.
Oh my God, Lynn, you crack me up. You would get along great with my granddaughter. My granddaughter loves roller coasters. I am so afraid of roller coasters. I don't, we have this roller coaster in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I can't think of the name of it, but it actually goes upside down and around, and it goes up the hill, and you sit at the top of the hill, and then you go down really fast, and you literally, it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And I do not like roller coasters. And I was there with my husband and my granddaughter. I mean, and my husband and my daughter. And I didn't want to go on, but I had so much fear. This was like 30 years ago. I was so afraid I was afraid that if they died on there, I'd be left without them. So at least if I go on, we'll all die together. So that's the only reason I went on, because of the fear. I had so much fear. And my husband said, just close your eyes and scream and you'll be fine. And that's what I did. I just closed my eyes and screamed. Lynn, I can't stand roller coasters. I just love people that love them, but I don't. I think it's great, but I don't like them at all. But I'll never forget that day. It was just so funny. But anyway, what I wanted to share, this first sentence here just grabbed me. Miracle minded forgiveness is only correction And only is italicized. It's only correction. Correction is undoing of that fear. It's undoing of that guilt. And it is forgiveness. And so, what I really love about what Ken talks about with forgiveness, Ken says that you can't forgive what didn't happen until you look at what did happen. So, I have to look at what happened first. And then I will see it's in reality once I look at it with the Holy Spirit, without judgment, because this is what we're talking about here, without judgment. Because as I said before, I can't do it on my own. On my own, I will look with judgment. So I look at what didn't happen with the Holy Spirit, and then I can forgive it. Then I can forgive it. So it's really undoing the fear, undoing the guilt, because guilt is really just a lack of forgiveness. It has no element of judgment at all. But to get to that place, I have to first look at what didn't happen until I can see what I have to forgive what didn't happen until I can look at what did happen. I think that's for me extremely important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's beautiful, Karen. And that's all Jesus is asking us to do. And Dove is pointing out that one of the original meetings of Course in Miracles gather ACIM gather was called the Course in Roller Coasters. And our friend Jeff, who is now I forget what his name is now. He calls himself something else. Anyway, he was doing it at Cedar Point in Ohio, which has got some couple of really great roller coasters. A couple of my very favorites. But yeah, it's just knowing that that nothing has really gone wrong. I love that. So let's move on to the next paragraph. I think we have time for this one, and this one is a really of course they're all really good. Yeah. I'll think of what he calls himself now. It's a different name. Anyway, so who would like to read number 7? There's only 2 more left of these special principles, and these last 2 are probably, I think the I don't know, important. I guess important. Who'd like to read number? Okay, Dove, please go ahead.
Okay, I'll just mention what the Course of Coasters was about. Of course, they have all these incredible roller coasters at Cedar Point. There's 2 kinds of people that showed up, and we had about 20, 25 people who showed up for that. I drove from here in New York area to Ohio. That was like an 8-hour drive, 7 hours or something like that. So when you got there, you had a choice. You could either go with the group that went on the roller coasters all day, or you stayed in your bunk and talked about the Course in Miracles, and you know which one I was in.
I would have been right there with you, Dove.
I didn't go on coasters. I stayed in talking about the Course in Miracles. Okay. And,
gosh.
yeah, and I do want to welcome Cora Yang, who I just met this morning, and she's over in China, and I'm so glad that she joined us this morning, and hopefully she'll be here at the regular Course in ACIM gather person. I invited her to take her place among the teachers, and this is what teaching is about. You really just step back and allow Holy Spirit to speak to you and through you. It's no one judges, no one compares, no one does anything. It's just you being you. And with that, I'll take on number 17. The injunction be of one mind is the statement for revelation readiness. That's interesting. Be of one mind is a statement of revelation readiness. My request, do this in remembrance of me, is the appeal for cooperation from miracle workers. So, you know, the Course is really saying the truth is we are one. And what is one cannot judge. Who is it that I'm judging? I'm always judging myself. Like Dove says, no matter what I'm saying about anybody, I'm always speaking about myself. You can't say anything about anybody in this world without speaking about yourself. And I don't care who the person is, you're still speaking about yourself. Because the thoughts that you have of this person, which first of all seems to be different and separate from you, outside of you, which is untrue, because in truth, there's nothing outside of your one mind. That's why we are of one mind foundation. And that's the name of the foundation that kind of founded ACIM Gather. And the name of my first book is called Into Oneness. So this is about waking up from two-ness, from the dream of duality into the revelation or the truth. The word revelation is wrong. Into the truth of what we are, which is we are one. And that's pretty much why Gather works so well, is that we recognize our oneness. Goes on to say the two statements are not in the same order of reality. Only the latter involves an awareness of time, since to remember is to recall the past and the present. So that's part of doing this course. You begin to recognize that anything that you go into the past is always the ego. Only the ego knows about the past, because the ego lives in time. And time doesn't even exist. He tells you that. I mean, when he tells you the world was over a long time ago, he means, time itself is really over a long time ago. But you keep coming back into the dream as long as you think or believe that we're separate and apart. That's why accepting the atonement is and that happens to be today's lesson, 139. I accept the atonement for myself. That's our sole responsibility in this world. And what does the atonement say? There is no separation. The separation never happened. That's, to me, is what he means by be of one mind. Only, let's see, I'll move on, go back to maybe later. Time is under my direction, but timelessness belongs to God. So timelessness, or the eternal, or the present now. And what is eternity but now, and now, and now, endless nows. There's no end to the present now. There's no end. It's just forever and ever we are one. And then it says, in time we exist for and with each other. In timelessness, we coexist with God. And I would like to say that the last couple sentences, next to last, in time we exist for and with each other, is really what ACIM Gather appears to be. And that's it. Oh, 18. 18. Chai, my favorite number. You can do much on behalf of your own healing and that of others if in a situation calling for help, you think of it this way. And as Iris says, every single time we meet, I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. And I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me, and I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Just a couple of notes on that. For instance, I was talking to Cora this morning, and I invited her to teach. She said, well, I don't know if I'm ready to teach. And I said, well, we say the same thing to all the people that come. All you're responsible for is these italics on page 28 of the textbook that says, I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. I'm thinking of Gary Renard, who goes all over the world. And I know that wherever Gary goes, and they say, Gary, will you lead us in a prayer? He uses this prayer as the only prayer that he uses. Wherever he goes, I'm here only to be truly helpful. It's the only thing that we're really responsible for is to recognize that I step back and allow Holy Spirit to speak to me and through me to all my brothers and sisters. That's how we develop trust. And I was mentioning some of the people that joined us as teachers early in ACIM Gather's existence, like way back in 2005, 2006, are incredible teachers of thousands of other teachers because they develop trust and spirit. It's that simple. And with that, I'll turn the mic back.
Thank you, Deb. Iris, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dove. Thank you, Lynn. And I love this prayer. It's my favorite prayer ever. And I was just thinking when Dove was reading the principle. I'll just keep this very short because I know like our time is coming up. But I just had this thought I can't remember exactly what it was connected to, but I was just thinking that like I tend to forget that all thoughts and all feelings are of the past. They aren't real. They're not real. They're from the past. They are like practiced programs running on automatic. And, it's really good to remember that because the oneness, that's why it's so important to let go, like let go everything. It doesn't matter what it is, really, it really doesn't matter. Like let go all feelings, all thoughts about everything. And then finally, we come to the let go of the I that I think I am because if I think about like this morning, I was thinking about, and I was just like, where do all these feelings come from? They come from like the past, and they come from this I need this, I want this, I don't like this, I want that, I'm happy for that. It's all like made up. So when the I goes away, there's God, there's the one, and there isn't like the manufactured self-made image I. And those were like the thoughts I was thinking about. And that's why like in the spiritual journey, it's not about getting things, but it's about like just letting go. Like I think Krishnamurti said that, like, or somebody said that, like it's about letting go, letting go everything, including the things that I thought were right and wrong and all of that stuff. So handing back over to Lynn.
Oh, thank you, Iris. Yes, that's just so perfect and beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm just so grateful for us and for our time together here on Saturdays. And so we've gotten through these special principles. And these are instructions for us as miracle workers, and they are here to help us. So actually reading through these and studying through these and coming to the understanding of what Jesus wants us to do with them is really, really, really important. I mean, obviously, or he wouldn't be putting in there and calling them special principles of miracle workers and the thing called the function of the miracle worker. If you want to know how, this is the way to do it. So thank you all. And I'm going to close down the book. And I think, hi, Cora. Nice to see you, my friend. Let me see. Let me put my face on here to see me poking around, looking at things. Devin, are you going to be able to do a meditation for us today? I've heard nothing of Devin or his babies, so it's hard to tell. Let's see.
There we are. I couldn't figure out how to get it open just now.
Well, that's
I've been-
interesting. Okay.
Been walking it around here, but yes, absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to put on some music, and Devin, our friend here, is going to lead us in a meditation. And when he is through, the music will continue to play until the top of the hour. So we can continue to be in peace for that time and get the music up and running. All right. Okay, here we go.
Take this time to relax. Take deep breaths. Let your day and your week just wash away so you can be here in this moment. Letting everything just drift away. With your eyes closed, let the day, the world, the body simply drift away. With every breath, letting yourself relax more and more. Letting the idea of your family and friends, letting it drift away so you can be in this moment. The idea of your work, just drift away as you surrender it all. The ideas of where you shop, places you like to go, let them disappear so you can be in this moment, completely relaxed. Let the ideas of your house your apartment, your condo, the building. Let it drift away. And let yourself be here. Letting yourself be in this moment. Letting the ideas of what you drive, your form of transportation, letting it drift away. Letting yourself be in this moment. Let the ideas of your daily routine, what you did this morning, let it relax and drift away. Let yourself be in this moment. The ideas you have about the shape of your house, where your bathroom is, let it all drift away. You don't need these ideas in the moment. The ideas of how you slept last night, where and what position, let them just drift away and be in this moment. All the memories of what you ate, the pills you took, the vitamins. Let it all drift away and allow yourself to be in this moment. Allow yourself to be here with every breath. All the ideas of where you are now, what you practice, what you know, let it all relax away. The ideas you have of the sensations you feel in your body. Let them all drift away. The pains you feel, the aches, the ideas you have of what it feels like to sit here. Let them all go. So you can be here and now. The sensation you feel of the ground beneath you, the chair below you. Let it all go. The sounds you hear, the voices, let it all drift away as you choose to be here and now instead. The darkness you see behind your eyelids, let it all relax away. The sensation of being in your skin, being who you are. Let it all go so you can be in this moment, being here and now. The concept of yourself, your name, your person. Let it all go so you can be in this moment, right here. Nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. Right in this moment, being in this moment. Here, here I am, Father. Here I am, Spirit. Here I am in this moment, ready for what you would have me do, what you would have me learn, where you would have me go. I am yours.